Hi guys, I'm back here in Handsome Alley to talk about the fantastic, terrific Tamron 11-20 F2.8. Man, oh man, you're in a tight space, you need a wide angle zoom. Can you do better than this? I don't really think so. Here, I'm going to touch the lens right now. This is how close I am to the lens. I'm touching it right now. Let's talk about it. Now, first of all, big shout out to BandH Photo, who are not sponsoring this video, but they were kind enough to lend me the Tamron 11-20. I can't get a hold of the Tamron people, so I contacted my contacts over at BandH Photo, and they're always so great. And even though I'm in Canada, they sent this lens. Their service is fantastic, and just can't thank them enough. Especially, although maybe I shouldn't thank them for giving me this lens, because now I have to buy this lens. It's so good. Here's what I did with this lens. It was a birthday party for a 5-year-old, and I mean, it wasn't just me going. I have a 5-year-old, so I went to this thing and I took this lens to take a pile of pictures at this old-timey train park, because this little kid, he loves trains. He's one of those kids that loves trains. Me not so much, but I kind of get it when I'm there. Anyway, you would think at a big old train yard you wouldn't need such a wide angle lens, but the fact is you do, because the shots are so close sometimes you just don't have any room for anything else, and this lens really did a great job. I'm going to show you some photos as we do the rest of this. All right. Oh, and I'm also going to show you something right now what this lens really excels at, and that is vlogging. Here we go. Now, as a lot of people who watch my channel know, I am a huge fan of catalyst browse, and that is what we are doing right now with this lens. I usually use about a 10% crop on catalyst browse, and seeing how I'm at 11 millimeters right now and the world is behind me, the 10% crop is nothing. So it is a fantastic lens for catalyst browse, but a lot of people, they don't want to go through that extra hassle of catalyst browse. They don't want to put it through and wait for it to render and have it come out, and I kind of get that. If you're trying to turn things over quickly, or you have a lot of clips, you don't necessarily want to go through catalyst browse all the time. But this is 11 millimeters, remember, so here, we're going to switch it up. So now I'm on the active stabilization. It's an E stabilization on the little ZV-E10, and as you can see, it is quite a mighty crop. But here's the thing, since I've been on 11 millimeters, the lens is it's here, it's right here. So I have my hand right in front of my chest. So if I extend it out to a normal arm's length, which is what I usually do when I'm vlogging, then you have a very wide field of view left to play with, even on that massive crop of the ZV-E10. Isn't that pretty cool? Look at that. Then you don't have to go through that extra catalyst browse step. You still get some pretty easy footage. Am I right? I think I'm right. Looks amazing. Huh? See, I actually like the kit lens in terms of vlogging. It has optical image stabilization built in the lens, and 16 millimeters is a decently wide focal length. It's about a 24 millimeter focal length in terms of field of view, full frame equivalent. So if you're just using catalyst browse, that's fine. But if you want to use this active crop that I'm using right now, it just gets too tight. Here, let me show you. So this is 16 millimeters right here with the active stabilization on in the camera, and this is at arm's length, and it's just too tight. I know that it's a pretty face, at least, that's filling your screen, but it's too distracting. You're overwhelmed with beauty. The lens is so sharp and has virtually no focus breathing. Look at this, coming into your living room, going back out, and you see that the sides are not going in or out. They are just staying perfectly still, which is fantastic when you're doing video. Also, you'll want to use this lens when it comes to landscape photos. And a lot of landscapers, it sounds like they're doing the lawn, but landscape photo artists, they like to take stacks of photos so that they blend them together in Photoshop so that it can be all in focus from very close to very far away to infinity. You just keep the whole thing in focus, but you have to stack all the photos. And if there's focus breathing while you do that, then that makes that more tricky. So this lens is fantastic for that as well. So I just zoomed all the way out because I desperately needed this tree in the shot. Now there is also the Sony 10-18 f4, which is a fantastic lens. I reviewed it here over this shoulder. And the only reason that I would choose this lens over that lens is the 2.8. I really like that this lets in a 2.8 of light, because in that train yard situation, there was a lot of times I was needing more light, and I wouldn't have been able to shoot at f4 and get some of those Pulitzer Prize winning shots. Now the Sony does have optical image stabilization, which can be fantastic if you are shooting a lot of photos, especially, you know, landscape photos where you're not going to go below f4. However, if I'm doing landscape photos, I'm usually on a tripod anyway. So the fact is, I would choose this lens for my use case because I do a lot of video work and I like that extra bit of light, and when I'm shooting my landscape photos, I will be doing that on a tripod. But if you are going to do a ton of handheld photos, then the f4 from Sony is something that you may want to look at, especially if you don't do a lot of low light shooting.
Can I just tell you how much I'm loving this right now? This is just the internal mic on the ZV-E10. I'm holding the camera by the lens and I'm vlogging in a train garage. And now I have to chase a child. My toddler is running away from me. There are trains that really run here, so I gotta go. I'll be right back. Oh, hey, let's go to the studio and see how it does there. Oh, I stepped into the sun. Let's go to the studio and see how this lens does there.
So now we are back here in the very professional studio, away from the prying eyes of parents of 5-year-olds who wonder why I am talking to a camera out at a train yard. And I just have to say that this lens is just great for the studio as well. I'm actually using it on 16 millimeters right now, and then I use the active steady shot, which is a crop. And with that crop and the fact that this is an APS-C lens, in terms of full frame equivalence, I get about a 35 millimeter field of view, which is what I like to do in my studio. So I always use the active steady shot as a crop in on my image when I'm in the studio with the ZV-E10. That is in my ZV-E10 hacks video. If you haven't seen it, you get extra focal reach. Focal reach? You get extra focal length, extra reach, or you can combine all of the words that you're trying to say in a sentence and just have a mishmash of terrible English. All I'm saying is the lens is fantastic. I would like to see an autofocus to manual focus switch. That'd be nice to have on the lens. My goodness gracious, it's sunstroke. I got sunstroke out at the train yard, and I would also like to see an aperture ring. That would be nice as well. It's just, I love a good clicky and also non-clicky aperture ring. I know I'm asking for too much. You're already getting such stellar image quality at a good price for a wide angle zoom. Well, you know me, I'm greedy. Anyway, speaking of that, affiliate links down below. Nice, light, compact lens. It fits on little Dougie so well. Good zoom ring, good focus ring. It's just, what are you gonna do? This is a great lens for a really good price, and if you're looking for a wide angle zoom, I mean, I don't know why you would look elsewhere. Anyway, enough of this inside stuff. Let's go back outside and get a sunburn. So let's end this thing outside vlogging, because why not? This lens is really suited for it. Thanks to BandH once again for sending this beauty out. Do you think they'd notice if I kept it? It's a big store. They could lose track of one lens, right? They're pretty diligent about keeping their stuff. Anyway, thanks to them, because this was super awesome. I'll be sure to hit them up for some more things in the future. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Leave a comment. I will be sure to answer it. And you want to know anything else about this lens? You let me know. I have it for a few more days. All right, we'll see you soon. Okay, bye-bye.